morning, OCSL family. Welcome to another Sunday service. It's good to see you, feel your energy through this computer here. I sit in my studio in East Oakland, California. First word that came to my mind this morning was just gratitude and giving thanks for all of you here. We're going to turn on our cameras today and give a smile to someone, wave to someone. I'm going to go to my gallery view. If you do that, you can see everybody. If we believe in these teachings, we know that every day is a day to be grateful and to be thankful. And God is working through all of us right now, all of our energy connected. I'm going to just sing an old song, a couple of, just continuing that vibration of gratitude and giving thanks this morning. You know, as a child in church, they used to always just clap their hands for like 5 minutes straight in the morning. So just, if you could just clap your hands right now, just being thankful. All of us here together. So I know every day is a blessing. And I feel Rev Jeff here right with me right now. He would always walk up with his coffee and give me a toast. It's to you, Rev Jeff, just a toast to you this morning. Love how you just come and just check in the morning, doing all the things he had to do. Just to say hello, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And it meant so much every time. I meant a few words, but it was all impactful and all powerful. I'm just grateful for those moments. Praise for Rev Jeff today. This is a praise. He has transitioned to a better space. He is with us even closer and deeper and nearer than he's ever been. Ashe. I had no idea what I would play this morning, but I just wanted to uplift just those moments when he would just come up. Say thank you. Grateful. I love the songs you're singing. I love the energy. I love you playing. Always humble and giving. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. For the blessing this morning. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within it. Bless his holy. Bless the spirit of us all. Holy name. So many great things. Spirit has done great things. Spirit has done great things. It's touched my life. Spirit has done great things. Oh, blessing. bless the name of Spirit. Jehovah Jireh, the universe, the goddess energy, the God in us, the power of love, the power of inspiration, the power of community, the power, the Spirit within us all. Blessed, blessed, blessed morning. Bless the holy name. Give thanks. And I'm going to turn it over to my brother, Rev Rob Leeds. Give thanks.
No sound, Robert.
Hi, how about now?
Perfect.
Wonderful. See, we have learned to navigate the Zoom universe. Okay, once again, thank you, Kev Choice, for your amazing music. And later we'll be hearing from the exquisite Jennifer Johns. And as I started to say, when you couldn't hear me, we are so blessed at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living for the amazing musicians that we are blessed with on a week-to-week basis. So thank you to everyone. And thank you, Andy, for organizing all of that. Thank you for joining us today during this tender time as we release our beloved Reverend Jeff. We'll be talking today about how we will be supporting you in the days and weeks and months to come. I'm your host, Robert Leeds, and happy spring, or Ostara, for all you pagans and Wiccans out there. You know, I think Reverend Jeff may have been a secret pagan. He loved spring. Yes, yesterday was the vernal equinox, a reminder that life and light always return. It is also Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year. And if that weren't enough, yesterday was also International Day of Happiness. That's an actual United Nations holiday. World Storytelling Day, Bibliomania Day, which is my personal holy day. And believe it or not, National Ravioli Day. Now, I don't know about you, but storytelling, books, ravioli, and happiness all go together quite well. With all these wonderful things to celebrate, I welcome you to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, where we teach spiritual principles and practices that nourish us like cosmic ravioli, and celebrate the truth we know, that there is one great web of life and love that connects us all, and that we co-create. Just another day on planet Earth. Thanks for joining us here in the Zoomiverse, and a special welcome to those of you who are joining us for the very first time on a Sunday morning. We hope you brought your ravioli. If you'd like to connect with us and get more information about our center, please send an email to Constance Chapman, our administrative coordinator, at constance@oaklandcsl.org. In order to help maintain a sacred atmosphere and support our sacred bandwidth this morning, I invite you to also please take a moment to make sure your Zoom microphone and video are muted and turned off. I'm so happy my daughter is home for spring break and my son is coming next week, because I've been missing those critters. So let's take a moment now to bless our children wherever they are. And the slide is coming up. We honor all our youth and children in our community and the world. We love you. We see you. You are Spirit's gift to us. Thank you for being in our lives. And so it is. Oh, there are some cool things coming down the pike here at OCSL. On March 24th, practitioner Judith Roberts is speaking at the Wednesday satsang service. Her topic is Invisible Friends. Intriguing. Meditation at 6:30 p.m. and service at 7 p.m. Registration for the upcoming class, Meditation is More Than You Think, is open. If you've been wanting a stronger meditation practice, this course is for you. You'll learn and experience different forms of meditation and find the one that suits you best. This 5-week class will be taught by Reverend Geri Carder and Reverend Tony Bradford. Early registration ends on Wednesday, March 24th. Sign up today. Class starts April 6th for 5 weeks. Linda Wyman is holding a bookstore courtyard sale on March 27th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It will comply with all health regulations. If you're willing to help, please email her at bookstore@oaklandcsl.org. And if you're missing browsing in the bookstore, I know I am, don't miss this event. There goes all my savings. In 2 weeks, April 4th, there will be a meeting of the CALM group, Compassionate Attention to Loss Ministry, after service. That's a great opportunity as you are processing your feelings about our beloved Reverend Jeff. That's a great place to do it in a really supportive environment. An email went out yesterday about another activity related to Reverend Jeff that we'll be having, which is, I guess, a kind of a do-it-yourself shrine to honor Reverend Jeff. A whole bunch of butcher paper will be put up in the OCSL parking lot against one of the fences for you to share your love and thoughts. Please bring your own writing utensils and observe social distancing protocols. It will be available after 2 p.m. today, and we hope it should be up for at least a week, unless it rains, and we're not expecting any rain. So hopefully at least go through next Saturday. We have many more groups, ministries, and events happening here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. As always, for information on all that's going on, visit our website, oaklandcsl.org, plus check our email blast, The Village News, for links to these and other activities. Before I wrap up, I want to update you on our Board of Trustees. We held our annual retreat the past couple of days. As you probably know, we have one member rolling off, our adored Beth Van Arkel, and 2 new members joining the team, Maureen French and Sanford Livingston. One thing that happens at the retreat, besides perfecting our secret handshake, is the selection of officers. So that new slate of officers to serve you is, as president, I am continuing as president of trustees. Our new vice president, Zoe DeMuro. Our new secretary, Anthony Prado. And Debbie Morris will be continuing as our treasurer. As part of this retreat, the board spent hours yesterday with the ecclesiastical leadership team and other group leads discussing how we would be supporting the center through this grieving period and then on into our bright future. It was very heartfelt, and I just want you to know that we have a solid team in place, and we'll be sharing more information soon about how we'll be supporting you and moving forward in the months to come. So now I can't think of a better way to close than to remind ourselves why we're here by reading our vision and mission statement. Oh, I see Women's History Month. That's not the vision and mission statement. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I had blocked on my screen. Thank you. The vision of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living is to joyfully reveal the love and oneness of God. We are a welcoming and inclusive spiritual community dedicated to individual transformation and collective growth. Our purpose is to love, inspire, and serve our community and the world through education, music, prayer, and play. Blessed be. I now turn it over to our amazing pulpit assistant today, Dorothy Mendez.
Good morning, Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. It is my honor to be the pulpit assistant today. I have 2 readings. Our first reading is from Ernest Holmes. Let's take a deep breath. and just sit back and contemplate these words. We should take the highest thought we have and attempt to enlarge on this consciousness until it embraces a more vital concept of reality. Consciousness in this sense means an inner embodiment of ideas. Ernest Holmes. Our second reading is by the beloved Mother Teresa. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier. Mother Teresa. Now let's just take a deep breath as we begin to bless this service. Bless this time that we are spending together. As we know, there is but one life, and that life is the life of God. And that life is your life right here, right now. As we, the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, come together as a community to support and love one another as we go through this time of release in our community. Releasing our beloved senior minister, our leader, who has more work to do, as we send him forward to follow that light of God, as he crosses over to continue doing greater things than we could have possibly imagined. We are all blessed to have had this magnificent God being touching our lives in different ways. We are blessed as a community, as he brought to us love, understanding, courage, and truth. We give thanks for our beloved Reverend Jeff. We give thanks for all that he has done for us as a community. And I know for each and every one of us, we have a little something in our hearts that we will always hold on to and remember our beloved Reverend Jeff. I am blessing this service and each and every person in the sound of my voice, knowing that we are all created in the love and the likeness of God. And we stand together as a community, holding each other's hands, supporting us through this time of release, knowing that God is our source and our sufficiency in all things. And knowing that as we open our hearts to the loving words that will be spoken today by our beloved Reverend Geri Carder, knowing that she brings to us comfort, love, understanding, and support as our staff minister. Knowing for each and every one who participates in this service today, knowing that it is already complete in the mind of God. And we are so grateful that we leave here with a lighter heart, knowing that we are loved. We are surrounded and grounded in that love and light that is God. As God wraps his arms around each and every one of us, knowing that we are one, for we are all created in the love and the likeness of God. And therefore, we are blessed. This community is blessed. And I know that each and every person in the sound of my voice knows that they are loved and that we as a community love each other. We support each other. We give thanks for each other. So I am knowing that this service is already complete in the mind of God, and that that which needs to be healed and revealed is taking place in our lives right here, right now. And I know that as I release this word into the law, knowing that it cannot return void in any way. And together we say, and so it is. And now I have the pleasure to introduce our beloved soloist for today, the wonderful Jennifer Johns.
I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you. Oh, my soul, rejoice and take joy, my King, in what you hear. Let me be the sweet, sweet, sweet sound in your ear. Hello, family. I am so grateful that we get to collect so quickly after Reverend Jeff's transition. And I'm so grateful to have known him as a love, as a friend, as a mentor in so many ways, as a beacon of calm and faith. And so I'm going to sing a song today that is new. I have sung it like once before. It's called Be Here Now. And Reverend Jeff enjoyed the boogie. So I think you will like this. We get started here. I know that you are with us now, anointing us now, blessing us now, lifting the veil so that we can see what is ours to do right now. Lord God, we give thanks. We give thanks for offering this new ancestor, and we give thanks knowing that you will always allow us access to his perfection and his ideas. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this man, Reverend Jeff, and thank you for this community of love on one another. Ashe and amen. You must be, you must be here now, in the darkness and in the light, you must be. Thank you guys so much. Let me stop the music before it keeps going. Thank you guys so much. It is my honor to introduce Reverend Geri.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that beautiful dedication to Reverend Jeff. Jennifer, so lovely, so perfect. My name is Reverend Geri Carder, and I'm a staff minister here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and also a member of our ecclesiastical leadership team, along with Reverend Sally Bartholomew, Reverend Tony Bradford, and Constance Chapman. Our monthly theme, Open to Possibilities. Of course, I like to say open to infinite possibilities. Our weekly talk, and there's no mistakes in this, with open arms. And just a reminder to everyone that we are individualized centers of God consciousness. So as we breathe that in, I just want to share with you that this service is tenderly being dedicated to Reverend Jeff Anderson, our senior minister for the past 6 years. For those of you who do not know, a message was sent out on Friday that goes like this. Message to our Oakland Center for Spiritual Living community and CSL communities. Our beloved Reverend Jeff made his transition on Friday afternoon. It was a precious, sacred moment. He was wrapped in the arms of his true love, Janine. His family and closest friends were reading love notes from his community. Love flowed in from as close as Oakland, from Santa Rosa, and from as far away as Ireland. After his transition, roses, snapdragons, irises, sunflower petals, song, prayer, and love saturated his body. Reverend Jeff was the embodiment of pure love. Now it is our sacred privilege to steward that love out into our community and beyond in his honor. So let's just take a moment of silence now. So that just knowing whether we're hearing this for the very first time or we have been with this experience of releasing our beloved Reverend Jeff, there are so many emotions and feelings and thoughts, especially when we are touched by someone as special as Reverend Jeff. Sadness wells up, Grieving is totally normal and okay. I just want to stress this, that our grieving is totally normal. Be gentle with yourself. We're all here to support one another, our village, our CSL community, and everyone who knew and loved Reverend Jeff through this very tender time. Let's remember that it's all in God's hands and we must trust the process. We will get through this as a community, as loving friends and family. Our practitioners are compassionate and empathetic and are here to pray with you. They will ask you how you're doing and listen with a loving heart, no matter where you are in your process during this time of sadness. You know, he's not really gone, you know. His energy surrounds us and his love lives on in each of us. Remember, please, that it's never too late to reach out to him, to talk with him, to tell him how much you appreciate and love him for the special ways he showed up in your life, in all of our lives. I'm certainly grateful for the time that I had with Reverend Jeff since he arrived at Oakland Center. And I just bless him for sharing his wisdom so gently and beautifully with me and with all of us, I know. He has had an amazing way of mindful thinking and rarely made quick decisions. And he aligned with spirit each step of the way in his thinking. He was so simple and clear, yet there were so many facets to him that allowed him to embrace us all in his own unique ways that made us all so special. Yes. I want to take a moment now because the message that was sent out to the Centers for Spiritual Living communities, the individuals who knew Reverend Jeff from all over, sent some beautiful comments and remarks. And of course, I can't post them all, but they're so heartfelt, and I really want to share these with you. So please relax and listen. Our ecclesiastical leadership team sent this e-blast out to our CSL organization. It said, "Dear beloved colleagues, it is with a heavy heart that I deliver the news to you that our beloved Reverend Jeff made his transition Friday afternoon. Please know that Reverend Jeff was surrounded by so much love and beautiful energy over the last weeks. He was ready to let go, and now he is in God's hands, being cradled and welcomed into his next incarnation. Please keep his family, loved ones, and our Oakland CSL community in your prayers, and know that he is on a grand and glorious journey into his next greatest yet to be. I know that we are saddened by this news, yet I know that he was surrounded in love, and as he says, love is the greatest power. Godspeed, Reverend Jeff, on your beautiful journey. You are forever in our hearts. Blessed be. Love and richest blessings, Reverend Geri and the ELT." So I want to share some ministers and some folks who sent back special love notes to Reverend Jeff and to our community. The first one, "I am saddened to hear of Reverend Jeff's transition. If you would like to talk, please let me know. Blessings to you and the Oakland CSL family." From Reverend Celeste Frazier. "Thank you for letting us know. I went to school with him. He was my friend, a lovely, authentic being filled with love and grace. So glad I got to know him. I'm grateful for the time he was here, and I rejoice in the next big thing. Blessings, Jeff." Reverend Sharon Lee Foley, Tucson. "Oh, dear Geri and OCSL community and precious Jeff's family. Jeff and I both began our journey in Santa Rosa. I also feel the way Sharon just described him as an authentic person, and I particularly appreciated his wry humor and deep dedication to practice. My condolences to his community and family, and I am grateful life is eternal. Reverend Barbara Leger, Golden Path of Peace. Thank you, Reverend Geri. I didn't know Jeff well, but we had several interesting meetings together. I find myself saddened by the news of his illness and passing. I can imagine that there is a great comfort in knowing how much difference he made in this world, especially at Oakland. Knowing he is free in his new expression, I wish him blessings and sweet grace. Catherine McKinney, Redondo Beach, CSL. Geri, Jeff was my Holmes classmate. I remember spending a starry evening at Colloquium with him when the power had gone out. We had such a great conversation, and we were in the meadow together at Asilomar for panels. I'm so saddened by this news. I hoped to go on one of his The Flow trips one day. I'll be praying for your congregation. Love and blessings, Reverend Joanne McFadden, New Thought, New York, CSL. Reverend Joanne goes on to say in another email, I'm really having a hard time with this. I was reading back through some messages. He called me a fabulous hot mess, and I had to laugh reading that again. I was, and he was there. I cannot imagine the loss for your community feels. I'm super sad right now. Grateful to know what's happened and happening. Thank you, Geri. Big, huge love to you and the Oakland CSL. Reverend Sharon S. Nichols. Dear Reverend Geri and Village, I am so sorry to hear that Reverend Jeff made his transition yesterday. He is in God's hands now. He is resting at peace now. With love and respect, Velma Norman, member. I am saddened by our beloved Jeffrey's passing. He was a gentle soul and kind. Blessings to you, Jeffrey, as you move to the other side of life. Know you are remembered and loved. Much love, Reverend Suzette Wehunt, Om Center, La Mesa. Thank you, Reverend Geri, very much. We have been watching closely and respectfully. We are particularly sensitive to the request for privacy and have shared that request with the people in Santa Rosa who loved Reverend Jeff. Please let the community at OCSL know that our hearts are with them and with Reverend Jeff. My blessings to you, Reverend Edward Billon, our spiritual leader. Sometimes words fail me. This is one of those times, so here's my tribute to my friend, my confidant, my groomsman, my brother from another mother, and the other half of the 1959 Capricorn bookends. I love you are the only words that we ever needed to make sense of at all. I love you, Reverend Rafe A. Ellis, Grass Valley. I'm going to take a moment to post a beautiful dedication that Reverend Rafe created into the chat so that you might like to copy it and view it after service. So for me, it's reading these heartfelt responses that allow me to appreciate Reverend Jeff even more than I already do, for how he so humbly touched the hearts of so many people. He did good God work on this earth, good God work. So one of our slides today that I would like us to focus on, I think it's time to bring some spiritual principle into our experience for the moment. We don't review what we believe very often. I was going to take just some excerpts from it, but I thought perhaps we could all recite this together. I know your microphones are off and that is fine, but these are wonderful reminders by our founder, Ernest Holmes, of what we believe. Okay. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. Then we believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through universal mind, which is the law of God, that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God. So let's just take a moment to breathe that declaration in, embracing it and accepting it right here at this time of release and letting go, but yet knowing the spiritual truth of our being. You know, and so I came across a couple of quotes that I really wanted to share with you that were very poignant for this time. These are from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And what Dr. Holmes shared with us about life is that God is life, and that which is life cannot produce death. God is life, and that which is life cannot produce death. What we call death is but a transition from one plane or one mode of expression into another. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. And then in Love and Law, he goes on to say, I don't see how there can be life after death. There can't be any. There is no life after death because there is no death. It is just a continuation of life. Thank you, Peter. So in our women's group that gathered last Sunday after service, we had the discussion of these two quotes, and in a way they allowed us to talk about our experience with death and dying and what comes next. You know, these are words that were spoken by our founder, Ernest Holmes, and they're words that sustain us. But when we're in the crux of the sadness and the sorrow, sometimes these words just aren't enough because we're left behind and our loved ones have moved on. And so during these times of sadness, it's important to reach out to your practitioners, to your grief support groups. We have a beautiful group of individuals who meet the first Sunday of each month, our care program, after service, as you continue in the process of the loss of our beloved Reverend Jeff, or for anyone who might be heavy on your heart. And then, of course, our practitioners in all of our communities, they show up in all their glory and their high spiritedness to help us make our way through any sadness or any joy. You know, it's all God. So as we know, our consciousness continues on for all of eternity because it's life eternal. We hear these words a lot in our teaching. So when we say that we release a body temple that no longer serves, we are only leaving behind the vehicle that has run its course. Spirit says, it's time and I'm calling you in to be a place of everlasting consciousness and to join your beloveds who are welcoming you with open arms. There is a big mystery in transition. We only know life as we know it. Like anything, it's familiar to us, and we don't want to go anywhere. Many of us want to stay and continue on, while others are ready to go. In these last few months, there have been losses that I have personally been experiencing, and one person I know who was most ready to move on, and some of you may know this individual as well. I know many of you do on the call, our beloved Richard Robinson, practitioner emeritus. He was so clear and did great work with people moving through the process of eternal life. His book, Holding Another's Hand, beautifully depicts grace during such a tender process. As one of Richard's caregivers, I had the opportunity to be with him along the way. And from page 55 of Holding Another's Hands, I'd like to share with you this reading from Patricia's son. Through hundreds of experiences, I have realized it is the very same healing energy you send to someone to get well as it is to die well. So there is no conflict. We don't have to be manipulating anything. You just send the great loving calm. And if the person is choosing to get well, it helps them to get well. And if the person is not going to get well, it helps them to die well. It is just a great calm love, an immerse, heart-filled, calm love. So in our teachings, we acknowledge that when someone is not getting well, that the healing is in releasing and letting go of the body. And this is a difficult one for us to understand because in our humanness, we don't want to let go of those we love. So I ask, do you believe in signs? Because this was something we talked about in our women's group. And in releasing Richard, who was definitely not technology orientated, he believed in his electric typewriter and faxing. And oftentimes he would send me a fax along the way, a fax that was to be shared maybe personally with Reverend Jeff or with the practitioners. And he would fax me and I would scan it to them. So I know that in this type of communication, that when Richard finally made his transition, my telephone rang one day and the only person who ever faxed me was Richard. And this was a couple weeks after his transition. And my phone, I never answer my home phone. I just use it for a fax line. And the home phone rang and I answered it, but there was no one there. And when I hung up, the fax machine went off. And I said, I looked at the fax machine in my office and I said, Richard, is that you? So I definitely believe in signs, and I definitely believe that was Richard. And what I know is that we will experience signs from our beloved Reverend Jeff as well. And what I know last night when I was reviewing and being with this talk, lo and behold, my fax machine started ringing again. And I looked up on the credenza at a picture of Richard that I had, and Reverend Jeff right behind him, and again said, Richard, is that you? I believe he was tapping into this experience. And I'll share one other quick story. During our 75th anniversary at Oakland Center, we had a drive-through parade. At that time, that was early October, I took Richard, and Reverend Jeff and Janine were there, and so many other people, and it was just a beautiful celebration. And when we stopped the car where Reverend Jeff was, I was the driver, Richard was on one side, and Reverend Jeff was going through the window, and they were talking to each other. And it was so beautiful because Richard had his health challenges as well, and he and Reverend Jeff shared their experiences. And Richard said to Reverend Jeff, if you get there before me, save me a place. And so Richard did make his transition first. And I guess the moral of my story here is that I truly believe that if we pay very close attention to our thoughts and feelings, especially about anyone in our life that has moved on, such as Reverend Jeffrey and Richard, for me, it's as simple as a ringing fax machine or having a fond memory of a mom or dad out of the blue. And I often think that when I'm thinking of someone that I've loved that has moved on, it's because they're thinking of me in that moment. So I really believe that. And I encourage us to pay attention as we move through our continuation of our human life experience. I also believe that we come here on this earthly plane to serve a divine purpose and to grow in spirit, yes? And that we say in our teachings that God wishes to experience life through us. I know that God had a grand and glorious experience with Reverend Jeff through all of his nature loving and through his deep and profound spiritual sharing and embracing our teachings and embracing each of us in such an amazing way. I know that we have many lessons to learn here. We have joys and we have sorrows. These things are all stepping stones to something greater in our life. And I believe that any suffering we have done in this lifetime, we never have to experience again. We don't carry the suffering with us because it has grown us and we let it go. I also believe that if reincarnation happens, and I say if because our founder, Ernest Holmes, did not believe in reincarnation. However, he was open at the top and he honored other leaders' points of view. I don't know where you stand with that, but if we are reincarnated, I believe we come anew. Especially when I think about, have you ever felt a serendipitous moment when you felt strongly that you knew someone that you just met? Or have you been somewhere that was so familiar to you? I often think we have experienced many lifetimes, and we bring with us all the good energy of each experience. Who knows? God knows. So do we trust our faith and belief in our teachings to guide us into our next incarnation? It's a heavy topic, but it does bring some clarity and relief when we can have the discussion with others on the topic, like we did at our Women's Spiritual Transformation group. So let's promise to reach out for prayer from our amazing practitioners when we are called to do so. When our hearts are heavy, we need to remember who we are as children of Mother, Father, God. And when we need to feel the heartfelt, calm love, that's their job, to work in consciousness. Everything we do, we think, we affirm, we pray are all done in consciousness. It is this same consciousness that is eternal and forever and ever expanding. It's the energy that moves beyond the veil of life. It is eternal. Our practitioners help us to align consciousness and support us through the troubled waters. And they are darn good at it. And I know there's many of them on board right after our service today. So let's just know that in prayer, we are opening our consciousness to divine flux. If everything is God and our consciousness is forever and ever expanding, then yes, our consciousness continues. It continues and expands when we leave our bodily form. We are operating always in the center of God consciousness because it's all God. There's no separation. And as our beloved Reverend Jeff says, love is the greatest power. God is all there is. This love power of Reverend Jeff's touched so many hearts. As you can tell from the readings that I shared with you above, as you can tell from everyone who's present today in the service, Reverend Jeff came to do something very, very special. And he succeeded, and his work was complete. And now he lives on in our hearts. He lives on in our experiences. He simply lives on. So with that, let us go into prayer. Taking a deep breath and releasing anything that is heavy on your hearts right now. And not even releasing it, embracing it, holding it, loving it, and centering into the consciousness of love and oneness. Breathing in the one power and the one presence, and knowing this power and presence is Mother, Father, God. A life force that is all-knowing and wise, that is boundless and infinite and everywhere present. This powerful presence is almighty, supreme, and absolute. There is only one. And how good it is to know that we are collectively connected to this power and presence. And we are individually imbued with the same qualities of spirit, the qualities of love and wholeness and goodness, of abundance and peace and clarity and wisdom, and so very much more. So I, Reverend Geri, claim, accept, and acknowledge all the grace and goodness as we support here at Oakland Center, our nonprofit partner for the month, Village in Oakland, a network of seasoned communities, activists, and other workers to make human dignity and housing a human right. For our planet Mother Earth, gratitude for her beauty and resilience, and our increasingly mindful stewardship of her. Blessing to those in service, creating a world that works for everyone. And blessings to our youth and the youth of the world, knowing they are guided by the loving mind and heart of spirit. And love, comfort, and healing for all those impacted by challenges in whatever form. For Dodie L. Baker, for Leela, Phyllis, and Volmy Wallace, for Mr. and Mrs. John Roselle and family, for Brianna Dawson and Samuel C., knowing a healing energy that is surrounding them, a calm love that is within them. And knowing for our beloved Reverend Jeff, that he is being safely guided home to the divine, knowing that he is peace-filled and that his energy is permeating all of life in our village and beyond. He left us with a beautiful imprint on our hearts and in our souls. God bless Reverend Jeff, his mother, his sisters, his nieces and nephews, Krista, and all who cared for him and supported him during his time of transition. And for his beloved Janine, who walked the walk with him and ushered him into his next incarnation with such love, such dedication, and such beautiful, calm love and resilience. This is a time filled with so much love, the beautiful flowers, flower petals that were mentioned in the earlier post, and the smells of nature and the energy. It was all so pure and so peaceful. I know that Reverend Jeff was embraced and supported each step of the way on this journey. And into his final days, there was such a calm love as Krista and as Janine and as his family and his mother, his beloved mother, supported him, loved him, whispered sweet words to him, appreciated everything about him, and then let him go, the hardest thing of all, but knowing he is safe. And may his beloved Janine, may she find peace, that peace we talk about that passes all understanding. And so I say now, Godspeed, Reverend Jeff. We love you so very much. And I'm so very grateful for the spoken word, the calm and loving consciousness that supports this prayer. God is so good. Let us remember one of Reverend Jeff's mantras from early times that continues on. There is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Just releasing these words into the universal law of mind that always says yes to our heart's desires, knowing that loving, calm presence, that everything is in divine order always, and that we are beautifully, beautifully supported by a God that knows only good. Letting these words go, letting go and letting God be God in our lives right here and right now, and in our beloved Reverend Jeff's life. So as we come back into the room from the prayer, let us see this beautiful slide of Reverend Jeff and his beloved Janine. We know that Reverend Jeff will never be forgotten. And we know that he lives on in our hearts. And I know that these two shared a very special bond, a bond of love like no other. So thank you very much. We're going to go into our breathing that in for a little bit, breathing all those words in for a little bit, and embracing ourselves tenderly, knowing that we are right where we need to be this day. And so as our giving affirmation comes up, we know that we are a community filled with love and light, and that we share this affirmation together. The gift I give is God in action. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. And so it is. And so here at Oakland Center, we make it very easy to give because we know we are a giving community. We give of our time and our talent, and we give of our resources to keep our beautiful center thriving. And as we give this day, we give in that loving calm, we give to Reverend Jeff. We give to his community. That is all of us here on this call today and beyond. We make it easy to give. There's a donate button on our website at oaklandcsl.org. There's also a text to give. And then, as I say, there's also the good old-fashioned way, mailing a check. Keeps our community strong and thriving. And what I will say is that if it weren't for Reverend Jeff, we wouldn't be the strong and thriving community that we are because of his diligence and his recognition in the consciousness of abundance and bringing that abundance forth and taking care of our finances in such a tender and loving way, sending love to them, and with a board of trustees that supported him each step of the way and making us a prosperous and joy-filled community. So thank you for that, Reverend Jeff, and for so much more. And now I'm going to take the opportunity to say, love you all, bless you all. You are in our hearts here at Oakland Center. We are here for you. And I'm turning this service back over to our beloved Dorothy Mendez, practitioner. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you, Reverend Jerry. Thank you for that beautiful tribute to our beloved Reverend Jeff. And I'd like to let everyone know we honor Reverend Jeff's cousin, Tammy, is on the call this morning, and our beloved Janine is on the call. And so we honor both of you, and thank you for being with us. We love you. We love you both. So as we come to our closing, I want to thank our wonderful musicians, our wonderful hosts, our co-hosts, all this technical people behind the scenes who have taught me how to be a Zoomer. I say thank you to all of you who make this service possible. Without you, we couldn't be here. As a practitioner, and also feeling the loss like everyone here, the practitioners of the Oakland Center have a wonderful gift that we love to give to our community, and that is the gift of prayer. So we ask that you not take home, but I know you're already home, but if there's something heavy on your heart and you'd like to share it or be comforted by a practitioner, our beloved practitioner, Bonnie Gonzalez, is hosting our prayer room right after service. And if you also want a prayer from a practitioner, you can go on our website, oaklandcsl.org. There are practitioners that are available to do a 30-minute practitioner session with you, free of charge. And just call on us. We're here to support you, especially during this time. We love you, and we want to help in any way that we possibly can with prayer. So we are about to do our closing affirmation. And together we say this: with open arms, I embrace my transformation. So now I'd like to turn this part of the service over to our beloved Kev Choice, who will take us home. Kev, thank you.
Giving thanks for such a beautiful service, and all the community here, far and wide, we appreciate you being here with us. We're gonna just keep that positive energy going through the week, keep supporting each other, make sure to call and check on each other. Make sure you tell each other that you love each other. I love you all, I appreciate you all. Thank you, Reverend Jerry, for such a beautiful and just centering service. Just paying honor and tribute to our beloved Rev Jeff. Rev, as we called him in the music ministry, we just called him Rev. Because that was the Rev to us. As we play out one of Rev Jeff's favorite songs, he was always be the first one to stand up. Do a quick introduction. And we'll play out with Blessed Always. Sing along to yourselves in your living rooms or wherever you may be. But first, we're just going to release. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Say amen. Say amen. Say amen. Give thanks, blessed always. Much love to everyone.
Before anyone goes, let's all just take a few minutes to continue to bask in this glow of love that has been created, just basking in this cauldron of love and peace and reverence and homage to Reverend Jeff, knowing that we are all a part of this great love. Collectively, we make up this great love.
Hi, this is Dorothy, and I forgot to let you know that today at 2:00, if you'd like to, there's going to be a message board at the church where you could write a love note to Reverend Jeff and to his family. And that will start at 2 o'clock. And bring your own pens and pencils, crayons, whatever you want to use to write your message on the board. And I also want you to know that Reverend Jeff's sisters are also on the call today. So blessings to Roberta and to Nancy, to their mom and to Janine. We love you and we support you all the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Did Nancy or Tammy want to say anything?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, I was just asking.
No, not to my knowledge. I just saw that she was on the call as well. Yeah.
All right. Mm.
Tammy, did you want to say something?
Let me unmute.
Okay.
Just, that was so beautiful. Thank you, everybody. That was amazing. And Jeff is such a special being, and he's touched so many lives. He was always so funny when I saw him, and loving and just light-hearted. And, he will definitely be missed. But we appreciate everything you've done, and we wish him all the best in his new adventures.
Tammy, thank you and your family for loaning him to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Putting him on loan.
Well, he wasn't mine to loan, but I appreciate you saying that. Thanks for loaning him to me.
Yeah.
Or sharing, giving him back, sharing.
Yeah.
We all loved his impish smile, that impish look that he had. It was so tender and loving.
Yes. I didn't know him much as an adult. I knew him more as when we were younger, and he was just always funny and always playful and just forever witty and light-hearted. And I just admire that and love that about him. Yeah.
Well, he was a rascal here at the center too.
That's good.
Picture that Janine is holding up there, Janine.
Janine is on the call.
There
Yeah.
you are.
Where is she?
Oh, hi. There you are.
Oh, you're our
He's
Shiro.
right here. He's
Yeah.
right here, you guys.
Yeah.
Hi, Janine.
He'd be so proud of all of you.
Oh.
He'd want all of you to know that the way that you have honored him and his family, the way that you have honored me,
Wait.
so overwhelming to feel all this love.
Oh, honey, just
Support.
wait for me.
And I just can't tell you how much it means to me to feel all this and to know it with all my being that I am not alone.
Yes, you're not. You are not.
And that his life, which I have dedicated my life to, will go on forever.
Yes.
We will feel him with us forever.
Yes.
That presence and that man, it's so powerful. And I got the beauty of sharing that with him.
Yes.
Yes.
I can't tell you what a privilege and an honor it has been to be his partner and to walk him home, to be a part of his journey in every way. It is my privilege, my life-changing honor. And I love you all for everything you supported him with. And you never, it was unceasing. It was never, ever not there. He knew that.
Oh,
I'm gonna go hug a redwood tree right now, okay? Because I'm feeling a little shaky.
He would love that.
Yes,
We are hugging you with our hearts.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
we love you, Janine.
Thank you, Janine.
Tammy,
Love you, Janine.
gosh, the
Yeah.
family is
Love you,
here.
Janine.
They can see you, Roberta, Nancy,
It's Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
and my mama, my sweet mama,
Oh,
who
good.
just
Oh,
loves Jeffrey.
Hi, Roberta. Nancy.
Come in, mama.
And your mom.
This is my mama.
Hi.
Hey, Mama.
She's the best.
give that daughter a big hug. Just hold it for us. Hold
They're
her.
adorable. Mwah, 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 mwah.
thank you, Janine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, honey.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
We
Thank
love you, yes.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Aw,
He loves you all.
thank you. We loved him and you and the family, and
Yes.
so graced by him and blessed by him always. Always. He's in the brick and mortar of our center, and he will always be present in our hearts.
I have to mention something about Krista
Yes.
Yes.
and about Andy. They are remarkable human beings. They got me through something that is unexplainable, unimaginable. With the most beauty and grace, they held me. They are forever my spiritual sister and brother. You don't experience what we experienced without being bonded on such a deep level for the rest of our lives. But I could not have been as strong without them. And I just want to say that I love you both. You are Jeffrey's very best friends. And he is grateful for what you gave to him and for what you gave to me. I love you both so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to honor them. It was really important to me that they know how honored they are.
It's just magnificent in connecting us all with Reverend Jeff.
Yes.
Thank you, Janine.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Janine.
Thank you to all of you. Mwah.
And to you. Love you.
I love you. I love you, Susie. Mwah, mwah.
I love you, Janine.
I was going to say, and Reverend Jeff's favorite expression was that, I was just telling Andy that this morning, that we're all just walking each other home, but I didn't know that he was taking a posse with him. Walking him home.
You know what, Bonnie? We called each other the badass women. His divine feminine badass women were surrounding him, boy. He loved the divine feminine.
Yes, he did.
A
Yeah.
fierce posse here. Fierce. Badass.
Fiercely, yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Janine.
you.
Thank you, Janine.
Love
Thank
you,
you.
Bonnie. Thank you for being here. Love you all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
Hi,
you. Take
Elena.
care.
Love you, Janine. See you soon.
Yep. Be out there in the parking lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna get creative.
2 o'clock,
Thank
I
you,
hear
Rob.
is the time. 2 o'clock. Okay.
And
Bye-bye.
online, why not?
Oh, Freya!
It's all
Darling
rolling.
Freya. All right,
Oh,
everybody. Signing out.
thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Oh,
Thank
that
you,
was
Janine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hugs
Bye.
and kisses, baby.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank
Love
you,
you.
everybody. Bye.
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 Keep
Thank
you all
you, Jen.
in our
Thank
prayers.
you.
Bye.
Oh, that was a precious moment that was orchestrated by Reverend Jeff. I
Yeah.
can
Yes.
hear-
Definitely.
Oh, so wow. How honored we are. And everybody just take a minute to just breathe in that magical not playing. Oh, so precious and so comforting to us. Oh, so let's just take that and let it just marinate through our body, through our bones, and just goosebumps or God bumps to happen. And know that we are still holding that sacred high watch. We are holding. Hmm. I just want to announce that the